TV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the top-most news platform in the country. Number one in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience. A very good morning. You're watching NDTV World on NDTV 24/7. Wishing all our viewers a Merry Christmas. We have a whole lot lined up for you. Let's get you the headlines. Foreign Minister S Jaishankar is in the United States and a meeting which is expected to have bilateral talks with his counterparts regarding various issues. He is going to be meeting with Donald Trump as well as Joe Biden officials, and though that's expected, his meeting is going to last up until the 29th of December. And Israel has instructed its diplomatic missions in Europe to try to get the Iran-backed Houthi rebel group in Yemen designated as a terrorist organization. And Donald Trump promises to vigorously pursue capital punishment after President Joe Biden commuted the sentences of most people on federal death row. And Brazil shuts China's EV major BYD factory after workers were found living in slavery-like conditions. And NASA astronauts share special Christmas message from International Space Station. Let's get to your top story, and that's External Affairs Minister S Jaishankar, who is in the United States till the 29th of December, marking the first high-level engagement between India and the United States following Donald Trump's presidential election victory. According to the Ministry of External Affairs, he will be holding discussions with his counterparts on vital, bilateral, regional as well as global matters. He's also scheduled to chair a conference of India's Consul Generals in the United States, and he's expected to hold meetings with both Donald Trump as well as Joe Biden's administration officials. We have Ghazali, my colleague, joining us to get us more on this. Ghazali, what is expected out of this meeting, and very crucially timed just before Donald Trump takes over as the President of the United States?
See, if you remember, a similar trip was taken by Dr. Jaishankar in 2016, just a year ahead or months away when Donald Trump was taking over as president for the first time, when Dr. Jaishankar was the foreign secretary in 2016. So a similar visit has been undertaken this time around with Foreign Secretary Mr. Vikram Misri already there in United States. He has already met some of the officials of the State Department, and now Dr. Jaishankar has also arrived in US, and he has a series of meetings lined up. Like once you mentioned that Consul Generals of India will have a meeting with Dr. Jaishankar. Then Dr. Jaishankar is expected to meet the outgoing officials of Biden administration. He's also expected to meet the incoming officials of the State Department, or the likely officials of the State Department who will be in office when Donald Trump takes charge as the president on January 20th. Why this is significant? One, because when the last time in 2016 he undertook that trip before Donald Trump taking oath as the president, in 2017 Prime Minister Modi also went and his first trip to the United States in Trump's administration. So this time around also it is expected. Since Foreign Secretary is there, Dr. Jaishankar is there, then it is very likely that Prime Minister Mr. Modi may be attending the oath ceremony of Donald Trump when he takes over as the charge. Though the External Affairs Ministry has said that there is no such schedule as of now, and they also refuse to comment whether Mr. Modi has also received an invitation from Donald Trump, since he openly said that he has sent out invitation to Chinese president for his oath ceremony. Besides that, we have seen that there is a lot of cooperation, trade, business between India and US, so it will be reviewed with the outgoing Biden administration officials and Dr. Jaishankar. Besides that, it is very likely, since we have seen a lot of other issues which created differences between India and US, the famous being the case of the killing of Hardeep Singh Nijjar and how some of the Indian officials were being blamed for that. Gurpatwant Singh's Pannu assassination attempt was also one issue which brought differences between India and US administration. So it is very likely that this first high-profile visit before Trump taking over the office, these issues will certainly be discussed with Mr. Biden. This is also being reported there that perhaps Jake Sullivan, the National Security Advisor of the United States, may visit India before Trump's taking over in the early weeks of January. So these are the crucial meetings which will be held there. This trip is also meant to see that perhaps all these visits and meetings will be outlined in this particular meeting between Dr. Jaishankar and the outgoing officials of the Biden administration as well.
Right, Ghazali, thank you so much for joining us with those details. Moving on now to Israel, and Israel has instructed its diplomatic missions in Europe to try to get the Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen designated as a terrorist organization. The Houthis have repeatedly fired drones and missiles towards Israel in what the group describes as acts of solidarity with Palestinians fighting Israeli forces in Gaza. The attacks have disrupted international shipping routes, forcing firms to reroute to longer and more expensive journeys that have in turn shocked fears as far as global inflation is concerned. So they've repeatedly been firing those drones and missions towards Israel, and that is what is being described as not just a threat to Israel but also to the region and the entire world. And that is what is the statement that has been made by the Foreign Ministry in that very statement that they have put out, saying that they are now asking diplomats to seek Houthis listing as terrorists.
נשלים עם העובדה שהחות'ים ממשיכים לירות על מדינת ישראל. אני הזהרתי ואמרתי שכמו שטיפלנו בסינואר בעזה, בהנייה בטהרן ובנסראללה בביירות, אנחנו נטפל גם בראשי החות'ים בצנעא ובכל מקום בתימן. אנחנו נפעל גם נגד התשתיות שלהם וגם נגדם כדי להסיר את האיום.
And to get more on this, we have Zaki Zaidi joining us to get us more on this. He's the former researcher, Institute of Defense Studies and Analysis. Thank you so much for speaking with us. In regard to, the Israelis there, the government asking for Houthis to be listed as a terrorist organization, how serious do you think is the Israeli government about designating the Houthis as terrorists?
Morning, Divya. Thank you for having me on your show. Israel is pretty serious because the kind of impact, as we saw in the past week, Houthis are already under blockade, sanctions, and they managed to fire a missile from Yemen and hit Tel Aviv, the main city, with reported injuries and like that. So right now, Israel is very in a very confident mode after killing Hassan Nasrallah. According to their own terms, changing the regime in Syria, weakening Iran. So Yemen is the last standing kind of a thorn in their way. So Israel is going to try everything possible, lobby to the European nations and US and even the Arab nations to designate it as a terror organization. But one thing that is going to complicate is that the Houthis are in truce for more than a year after the Saudi and Iran deal, after the Saudi-Iran normalization. And they have specifically and categorically said that their issue is only with Israel. The day Israel has a ceasefire in Gaza, they are going to stop their attacks.
Right. Also, what kind of operations would Israel be willing to take in order to eliminate the threat of the Houthis?
In the previous two attacks we have seen, they have attacked Sana'a and Hudaybiya, and there is a port. So right now, the previous Europe and US, they have targeted the military sites in Yemen, because of the threat to the global shipping lines and citing that threat. But Israel has targeted the civilian infrastructure also, the petroleum reservoirs, the electricity grids, and the ports, the cranes, everything, because the port is the main lifeline for Houthi rebels to import the foodstuffs and materials into their country.
Right. Also, have the Houthis been weakened owing to Iran's plummeting influence in the region, and how would they take on Israel?
Definitely, at least other what Iran says that axis of resistance that many especially this after the fall of Bashar al-Assad and death of assassination of Hassan Nasrallah, that axis has definitely weakened. But Yemen, especially Houthis, they act on their own. They as how much has been claimed that they are Iranian, satellites or something like that. But their objective has been clear. They have sustained the 8-year-long bloody war with Saudi coalition. And this ceasefire was achieved around a year and a half ago after the Saudi-Iran normalization. So it's difficult because the Houthis don't see their victory and loss from the point of view of some territorial gain or something. They say that it's their moral obligation and religious duty to stand up to Palestinians, and nothing will deter them, no matter what sort of bombing is there, what kind of damage, material damage or human lives are lost.
Right. Thank you so much, Zaki Zaidi, for joining us with all that insightful information regarding what is the stand that Israel will be taking in regard to listing Houthis as terrorists. Well, moving on now to more news, and it's President-elect Donald Trump who's gone on to say that he will direct the Department of Justice to vigorously pursue the death penalty after President Joe Biden commuted the death sentences of 37 federal inmates to life in prison on Monday. Now, Donald Trump wrote on his social media site Truth and said that as soon as I'm inaugurated, I will direct the Justice Department to vigorously pursue the death penalty to protect the American families as well as the children from violent rapists, murderers and monsters. We will be a nation of law and order again. This is after Biden's, he has pardoned, in fact, he has commuted that sentence of 37 inmates, which Donald Trump has gone on to say makes no sense. There will be just 3 individuals in federal prison facing the death penalty when the president-elect takes office in the month of January. And switching tracks now to South Korea, and South Korea's main opposition party has promised to impeach acting president, but has reversed an earlier plan and decided to wait until later in the week. The party officials have gone on to say as the risk of further political uncertainty has heightened. The move comes as the country is reeling from impeached President Yoon Suk Yeol's short-lived bid to impose martial law on the 3rd of December, and he partly blamed on the opposition's, he has been blamed for it as far as the opposition is concerned in regard to the impeachment of the government officials. And with that, we're slipping a very short break. Back with a whole lot more on the other side of NDTV World. Do stay with us.
Download any single ID partner app, link your card and earn reward with top brand.
Get it free with single ID.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam, a sacred confluence of faith, culture and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation, production excellence to regional leadership, NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust. In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I bring in that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti is also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival.
Welcome back to NDTV World. Let's get you the latest from China. And according to a Reuters report, Chinese authorities have agreed to issue $3 trillion. This is in fact $411 billion worth of special treasury bonds next year, which would be the highest on record as Beijing ramps up its fiscal stimulus to revive a faltering economy. The plan for 2025 sovereign debt issuance would be a sharp increase from this year's $1 trillion and comes as Beijing moves to soften the blow from an expected increase in the US tariffs when it comes to Chinese imports. And that is what Donald Trump has promised as soon as he takes office on the 20th of January. And moving on now, Brazilian authorities have halted the construction of a factory for the Chinese electric vehicle giant BYD, saying that workers lived in conditions comparable to slavery. More than 160 workers have been rescued in the northeastern state of Brazil, according to a statement from the Public Labor Prosecutor's Office. They were allegedly put in a degrading environment and had their passports and salaries withheld by the building company. Now, BYD has said in a statement that it had cut ties with the firm involved and remained committed to a full compliance when it comes to the legislation in Brazil. Switching tracks now, the local media is reporting Iranian authorities have officially lifted the ban on WhatsApp and the Google Play Store, signaling a significant shift in the country's internet restrictions. The decision, which comes after a meeting with top government officials, has marked a very new phase when it comes to easing of internet blockages and that have restricted the access to major global platforms for some time now. On Tuesday, a meeting has convened with the participation of heads of all three branches of the government, the ministers and the members of the Supreme Council, where discussions focused on reviewing and adjusting policies surrounding the internet governance and restrictions. Following the presentation of the assessments from relevant authorities, the Council approved the changes to the existing internet restrictions. And US President Joe Biden has signed the National Defense Authorization Act for the fiscal year 2025 on Monday. This move is aimed at boosting the United States military spending as far as $895 billion is concerned, marking a 1% increase from the previous fiscal year. Now, the NDAA has passed by the Congress the outlines as far as the Pentagon's annual budget is concerned and serves as a guiding document for the country's defense policy. The signaling, this is the signing of the bill ensuring that its continued funding as far as various defense programs are concerned. This also, of course, includes the military personnel, the equipment procurement, and the ongoing defense initiatives as well. However, the decision to increase the military spending has sparked controversy. Some members of the Congress have gone ahead and voiced their concerns over the allocation of such a large budget amidst growing domestic challenges. And it is French Prime Minister who believes that dozens of people have died when this is a Cyclone Chido that hit the French Indian Ocean territory on the 14th of December, rather than thousands as was feared earlier on. He's got to confirm the death toll so far is about 35, but in the immediate aftermath of the cyclone, what we are hearing is that it could definitely be several hundred people and could reach thousands. There's also uncertainty about the true population as far as the area is concerned. Officially, it has about 320,000 residents, but authorities have estimated about 1 lakh to 2 lakh undocumented migrants who may also be living in that area. Now, international hunger experts say that famine is spreading in Sudan as a result of a relentless war between the military and a paramilitary group that has wrecked the country and created the world's largest displacement crisis. Experts from the Integrated Food Security Phase Classification, or the IPC, have gone ahead and said that they detected famine in 5 areas in the northeastern African countries, including parts of Sudan's largest displacement camp in North Darfur province, where famine was announced for the first time in August this year. According to the United Nations, Sudan has been roiled by a 20-month war that has killed more than 24,000 people, driven over 14 million people, which is about 30% of its population, from their homes. This includes an estimated 3.2 million who have crossed into neighboring countries, including Egypt as well as South Sudan. Now, an explosion at a factory in northwest Turkey left at least 12 people to be precise, dead and 4 injured on Tuesday morning. The blast occurred in the capsule production facility as far as the factory that's located, according to the state-run agency. Now, the explosion collapsed the building and the surrounding buildings sustained minor damages as well. Now, the Justice Minister has taken to social media site X that 4 public prosecutors have been assigned to investigate as to what really caused that explosion. Let's get you the latest as far as the strike at Starbucks is concerned. Now, that's expanded even further to over 300 US stores, with more than 5,000 workers expected to walk off the job before the 5-day work stoppage ends later this week. Now, Starbucks, which operates more than 10,000 company-operated stores across the United States, has gone on to say that 98% of its stores remain open, with about 170 stores that have shut down as of Tuesday. Now, the Workers' Union have claimed more than 290 stores were fully shut down and more than 300 stores were on strike as planned across 45 states of the United States. The strike began on Friday after talks between Starbucks and the union hit an impasse. The International Cricket Council, or the ICC, on Tuesday finally announced the Champions Trophy will be scheduled for that delay as far as 2025 is concerned. The elite tournament that is being hosted in a hybrid model will start with a match between Pakistan and New Zealand in Karachi. That's going to start on the 19th of February. The final will be played on the 9th of March, and India will be playing its first match of the Champions Trophy against Bangladesh, and that's going to take place in February on the 20th in Dubai, the UAE. India will play all its matches in Dubai. And NASA's pioneering Parker solar probe made history, flying closer to the sun than any other spacecraft, with its heat shield exposed to temperatures of more than 1,700 degrees Fahrenheit. Launched in August of 2018, the spaceship is on a 7-year mission to deepen scientific understanding of our star and help forecast space weather conditions even better, and that can affect life as far as Earth is concerned. Tuesday's historic flyby should have occurred at precisely 6:53 in the morning, although mission scientists will have to wait until Friday for confirmation, as they lost contact with the craft for several days due to its proximity to the sun. And star shuttler PV Sindhu got married to Venkat Datta Sai, Hyderabad-based executive director at Posidocs technologies in an intimate ceremony that took place on the 22nd of this month in Rajasthan. It was a two-day affair as far as the wedding ceremony is concerned. PV Sindhu chose to wear Manish Malhotra at the wedding, and then she chose a Sabyasachi outfit. And then it was followed by a reception that took place in Hyderabad yesterday on the 24th. The 29-year-old Sindhu, a two-time Olympic medalist, went ahead and got married in Rajasthan first, followed by festivities that continued in Hyderabad. And let's get you the latest as far as American Airlines briefly grounding flights nationwide as of Tuesday due to a technical issue just as Christmas travel season kicks into overdrive and winter weather is threatening more potential problems for those planning to fly or drive. American flights were cleared to fly by federal regulators about 1 hour after a national ground stop order was issued by the Federal Aviation Administration. There were 1,447 delays for flights entering or leaving the United States early in the day with 28 cancellations. Snow was falling early in New York and Dallas. Fort Worth International, which is American Airlines' main hub, was getting hit with rain. And NASA astronaut Sunita Williams, as well as Dawn Petit and Nick Hague and Barry Wilmore, shared a holiday greetings and expressed well wishes to those back home on Earth. Williams and Wilmore have been stranded in space since June. The two test pilots planned on being away just a week or so when they blasted off on the 5th of June on Boeing's first astronaut flight to the International Space Station. Their mission grew from 8 days to 8 months after NASA decided to spend the company's problem-plagued Starliner capsule back empty in September.
Welcome to the International Space Station as we get ready for the Christmas holidays. It's a great time of year up here. We get to spend it with all of our family up on the International Space Station. There's 7 of us up here, and so we're going to get to enjoy company together. And one of the best things that I like about Christmas is the preparation and just getting ready, the anticipation, everybody getting together and preparing stuff and just getting ready for the holiday. And a couple little things we have here with us to just prepare, which will be sort of fun in a couple days.
Sunita Williams sending out a Christmas message from space, and her return back to India, to the world, to Earth has in fact been delayed is what NASA has said, and it could perhaps be as late as March of 2025. With that, it's a wrap on this bulletin. News and updates will continue on the other side. Thank you so much for watching.
NDTV proudly upholds its legacy of trust and credibility. According to the prestigious Reuters Institute's Digital News Report 2024, NDTV is the topmost news platform in the country. #1 in both online and offline reach in India. Beating all its competition, NDTV stands for trust.
New day, new show, a new experience. Start your day with the news, not views.
We bring you stories that matter
and impact your lives.
News that informs and keeps you ahead.
from Maximum City, Mumbai,
to the seat of governance, Delhi.
NDTV brings to you the best breakfast show. The breakfast show only on NDTV 24/7 every morning at 8 a.m.
We are able to maintain the democratic fabric and the democratic system.
I want to do something that can make a difference.
लगातार जनता की आवाज को सरकार तक पहुंचाने का काम मैं करता हूं.
I was a student up until very recently. I really want to work and do something for my people because they have given me this opportunity. They have elected me.
सोचा नहीं था कि राज्यसभा सांसद बनूंगी.
Mahakumbh, the festival of faith, the world's biggest spiritual festival, the divine dip at the spiritual Sangam. a sacred confluence of faith, culture, and heritage. NDTV's mega coverage of the Mega Fest. NDTV at Mahakumbh 2025.
NDTV shines with 38 prestigious wins at the News Television Awards 2024. Powerful journalism to cutting-edge digital innovation. Production excellence to regional leadership. NDTV sets the benchmark. 38 awards, each a testament to your trust in NDTV. NDTV stands for trust.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news.
A very good morning and Merry Christmas to all of you from all of us here at NDTV. We have a whole lot lined up for you on the breakfast show, including actor Allu Arjun, who was grilled by the police for 4 hours yesterday. And this is, of course, the opposition hitting out at the Congress party, saying that they're doing nothing but targeting the actor while they have more important issues to focus on. We'll get you all the details. First, let's get you the headlines. In the Pushpa 2 stampede that resulted in the death of a woman, it's actor Allu Arjun who was grilled by the police yet again. Do remember, this is the second time he's been grilled in a matter of 10 days. He's out on bail for now. It is Chief Minister Revanth Reddy who the BRS is saying is targeting the actor while ignoring other issues such as issues of the farmers and all the promises that were made by the Congress party that haven't been met yet. Tragic accident in Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch, where an army vehicle has plunged into a gorge, which has resulted in the death of 5 soldiers. 5 other soldiers have been injured. And Grab 4 measures have been revoked in the national capital. This is because the rain has brought in some respite, but visibility was impacted severely this morning because rain gave way to fog, and that could result in more pollution coming about as there's added moisture in the air. A crucial meeting coming up. This is an NDAA meeting in order to focus on better coordination in regard to that Ambedkar row that took place, and now the NDAA meeting coming out in the presence of JP Nadda and Amit Shah. And on the occasion of the 100th birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Shri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the Prime Minister to lay foundation stone of river linking national project in Madhya Pradesh that's going to be taking place today. And Christmas carols and festivities all across the country, with India celebrating the festival of Christmas. Here's wishing all our viewers Merry Christmas. Let's get to your top story, and that is Telugu actor Allu Arjun, who was questioned by the Hyderabad police for nearly 4 hours yesterday after a stampede at a city theatre this month that killed a 35-year-old woman and left her 8-year-old son with life-threatening injuries. The actor had been summoned for the second time by the police in the investigation, and he could also be summoned again, is what we're hearing from our sources. He was asked whether he knew that permission wasn't granted and was in fact denied for his visit to the